Cassava is one of the most popular and widely consumed food crops in Africa. Because it is such an important food in the region and an extremely versatile crop, it is commonly referred to as cornerstone of food security in Africa. The competing needs for cassava cut across both human and animal consumption. It is fast becoming a popular raw material in industrial production and is now a preferred material for making biofuels. As Africa's population and economy continues to grow rapidly, the demand for staple foods like cassava has increased. This high demand for various forms of processed cassava is pushing prices to the ceiling. It is estimated that 70% of the cassava produced in Nigeria is processed into gari. As a result, gari is the most commonly traded cassava product. The gari prices, therefore, are a reliable indication of the demand and supply of cassava. Other relevant processed cassava foods in the traditional food market include fufu, lafun, and apacha, to mention few. According to the farmers, fresh cassava should be free from microbial or insect damage and without serious bruising or cuts. It should be processed within 2 days of harvest to prevent deteriorating and loss of quality in gari. The basic processes involved in the production of gari from cassava are sorting. After harvest, some roots may be damaged or rotten. These are sorted to select the wholesome roots of processing. Only healthy roots without rot or other damage should be processed. Peeling and washing. Freshly harvested cassava roots are covered with soil and dirt, and the roots are peeled to remove the outer brown skin and inner thick cream layer and washed to remove stains and dirt. The water source should be checked regularly to ensure it is not dirty or contaminated. Grating. As part of the process to remove the cyanide and make the roots safe to eat, the peeled cassava are grated into a mash or pulp. Mechanized graters are needed to produce a sufficient quantity of cassava mash to meet market demands and standards. Dewatering and fermenting. This completes the process of removing cyanide from the cassava mash. The water content in the mash is reduced using hydraulic process. The bags are then left to drain and ferment for a few days. Fermentation must be properly controlled, as too short a period will result in incomplete detoxification and a bland product. Too long a period will give the product a strong sour taste. Both over and under fermentation also badly affect the texture of the final gari. Roasting. The grits are then roasted or fried in a hot frying tray or pan to form the final dry and crispy product. Gari is normally white or cream, but will be yellow when made from yellow cassava roots or when fried with palm oil. It is important to make sure the taste and smell is acceptable to local consumers. Yellow cassava roots and palm oil are rich in vitamin A and therefore make nutritious gari. The roasted gari are spread on a raised platform in the open air to cool and dry. If lower temperatures are used, the product simply dries and produces a dry white powder. Too high a temperature will cause charring of the product and make it stick to the roasting pan.
Tá ti kó pákídé látoko. Ká dé bẹ́. Tá bá bẹ́ tán. Ká kó sínú engine tó máa bá wa lọ. Tó máa já. A dé máa kó sápò. Ó depend bí kálukú bá ṣe fẹ́ kó kan tó. So kó pẹ́ nílẹ̀lẹ̀ kó tó wà lórí korokoro. So yẹn ló fi máa kan. Tó bá jẹ́ pé èèyàn tètè gbé sórí korokoro kò ní kan. Àmọ́ nílẹ̀lẹ̀ tí bóyá lò bí 5 days 6 days 7 days yẹn ló máa kan dáadáa. Bóyá bí ọjọ́ mẹ́ta àbí ọjọ́ mẹ́rin a fi máa gbé sínú korokoro tá fi máa tẹ̀. Bá dẹ̀ ti rò àyàn níjọ́ kejì. Ó ti di gàrí ni.
Begin they peel it as then they peel as you after peeling it they come and grind it as then grind here.
Okay.
After grinding, I will carry. They will carry it to that place and tie it with that jack.
Okay, they will ferment it.
Yeah, that jack. Okay. After tying it, you will carry it again. Come here and filter it with the engine.
Okay.
This engine we are using for filter and not hand.
Okay, to make it fast.
To make it fast.
So after filtering,
we carry it and go fry as you take them there.
And after frying,
it become a food.
Thank you very much. Sieving. The gari is sieved to separate coarse particles with a standard size sieve to produce fine granules. A grinder is used to break the large granules into smaller ones. Sieving is important to obtain a high quality product free of fibers, contaminants, and with similar sized granules. Packaging. The gari are weighed and then packaged for marketing. Gari is a creamy white granular flour with a slightly fermented flavor and a slightly sour taste, made from fermented, gelatinized, fresh cassava tubers. Gari is widely known in Nigeria and other West African countries. It is commonly consumed either by being soaked in cold water with sugar, coconut, roasted groundnuts, dry fish, or boiled cowpea as complements, or as a paste made with hot water and eaten with vegetable sauce. When properly stored, it has a shelf life of 6 months or more. Idowu Fabajo, OGTV Social and Community News.